Hey guys, welcome to our review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Before this one came out, I was a lot of my friends. I was following people on Twitter. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, is what people were saying. That's okay. Well, I loved it. I loved its creativity. I loved its body count. I mean, I even like Chavez, who I didn't think I'd much like, though she's more
right.
she's more of a plot device here,
America.
right? Yeah, ridiculous name, but a lot of characters in comics have ridiculous names. She doesn't take away anything from our main characters to prove that she needs to be there, like so many of these types of have these people do in situations like this. This is so fucking creative. And I felt like I couldn't really predict how crazy and what the next thing was going to happen. And I felt Sam Raimi's direction. And I wanted to see some Sam Raimi stuff. Though I'm sure some people who hate it probably hate those aspects. But I wanted him to push it even more, to be honest. There were some ridiculous things. But the more I think about the two moments that I thought were, okay, now you're going too far, I even like those now. So we'll talk about those in this. Very difficult, by the way, to talk about this film.
Yes.
Because we don't want to spoil, anything for you here. So a main villain or all sorts of other stuff we don't want to really talk about. So, but I think it's not very formulaic. I think it breaks the mold a little bit. Now, obviously, they're fighting the bad guy and they have to resolve the bad guy, right? But I really think with Sam Raimi's direction and the writing and how crazy, twist and turny it is and multiverses, that it really does feel like a comic book. And I really like that aspect. So, and I thought the fight scenes were really good. And like I said, the body count, I'm very satisfied. This isn't one that you take your small children to, right? And I'm kind of happy that was a thing. What did you guys think about Multiverse of Madness?
I think I felt in the middle. I didn't
Okay.
really love it. I didn't hate it. I'm more in the middle.
Interesting.
I did like the horror element that
The
they
thing that was
introduced with
not
this stuff.
supposed to happen.
I did like the horror element that they introduced. That was pretty cool. And like you said, you could definitely tell Sam Raimi directed this. It's like it was like, all right, that's him. Some of it was like you said, over to the top.
Yeah. I was about to do a spoiler.
I love the way I love Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
she fucking kicked ass in this. I love
Yeah,
her
sort of a
character.
continuation of the television series WandaVision. So we get that. We even get sprinkles of What If. We get sprinkles of a lot of different things that we've seen.
Yeah, and America. She
Chavez.
was in she was in the front. She wasn't really taking over, so it wasn't
Good.
overbearing.
Right.
I felt like it was fine, but the main plot was like kind of iffy for me.
Okay.
Like in a whole, I was like, I don't know if I believe it, but went along with it.
Okay, believe it. We'll have to talk in spoilers.
So apparently you can love it, you can hate it,
Yes.
you can think it's just okay, or you can just like it. So you can do
Oh,
it.
all right.
And this isn't a
All
love
right,
or hate
then
movie.
fuck it. I don't know.
Yeah,
That
like,
was I think that was skill up. That you're either going to love it or hate it.
man,
I love it.
no. I think that there's so much to love here, and there's so much about this movie that I do truly love. I think I am a huge Sam Raimi fan. The problem I have with Sam Raimi is I either want full fucking Sam Raimi. I don't like the sprinkles of Sam Raimi that we get because we get kind of Marvel formula,
And then
it's
Sam
not
Raimi,
and it's not the Sam Raimi stuff that I don't like. It's the absence of Sam Raimi in the other parts where there's kind of like standard Marvel stuff going on, and then Sam Raimi stuff goes in, and you're like, well, it's a little goofier. It doesn't kind of mesh with what we just saw, and it's not. And I was trying to think about it. It's like, is it that I don't like the Sam Raimi stuff, or I don't like that there wasn't Sam Raimi stuff before? And I think that's what it is, because I am a huge Sam Raimi fan. There's some wackiness in this movie that the first time it hits you, it feels out of place, but I wish it had been there throughout the entire movie, because I really do want to feel more of Sam Raimi in this movie. It is very violent. It is.
Yes, I like
it is
that,
not
the
as scary as
horror.
I wanted. I really wanted to push horror, but there's a lot of horror elements here. I wanted like really scary
Yeah,
stuff.
we were hearing, and I think that's why the first guy got pushed out. They wanted to make it very much horror. We'll never know whether it was because it was too dark and he wanted to do two things, and then Sam Raimi was easier to work with, or whether it was just they weren't happy with the dailies that they were seeing, and it's like let's get Sam Raimi up in here instead.
Yeah, but I've had a pretty good time with it. I think it's not my favorite by any means, but I think it's solid.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, interesting. Well, we get at least 3 fight sequences. Were you guys satisfied? Every superhero film, you got to raise the stakes. Did you feel the stakes were raised? And
Love that.
yeah,
I loved it.
yeah,
It was very gruesome. I'm surprised actually Marvel went there.
yeah.
On
I'm
this
surprised too. Yeah.
So
We get several cameos too. If you guys have really, it's a treat for people who have been watching Disney Plus religiously. We have for review purposes, but if you've really been fucking watching it, then you're gonna get satisfaction in multiple different areas.
So I criticize a lot of animation stuff that we watch because I want to see in animation you should be able to push magic fights where you see wizards fighting wizards. I think we watched the Witcher animated series. It has garbage ass fights as far as magic goes.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, this is the exact opposite. This is live action. Like they really went for
Crazy,
it, and they go crazy. They show like all craziness, and as far as they can do with spells and lots of fighting, and they really did a good job here. So I normally shit on these other ones that don't do a good job. So I want they really nailed it here.
Yeah, especially all the different multiverses that you go. American
There's
Chavez,
some
her thing is
odd
to.
ones in there.
Yeah.
Did you notice the cartoon one, the paint one?
Yeah.
That's weird universes.
Is that a negative?
No, I'm just
That's
saying
a
like
positive to me. That you're. I mean, think about it. If there's fucking
paint?
multitude of multiverses, yes, literally anything. I mean, fucking the way the Earth has formed is gonna be
Spider
fucking
pig.
different. The way the fucking
That's
galaxies are
amazing, though.
different. Yeah. So there are some crazy ones, and then there are some, by the numbers ones where it's only slight changes. So I like the fact that they're always. Now we're not gonna get a movie in the fucking paint universe. We're not gonna stop there. We're gonna have some plot there, like we do kind of in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Actually stops in one of those universes. Joe, have you seen that movie?
Nope.
I highly suggest you do. Anyways. So I thought they handled the multiverse aspect well. I thought the creativity was there. There was enough Sam Rami elements for me. There was enough Marvel elements for fans. Satisfying fights, great action, really good CGI. Those some fakey because you really have. I mean, there's a lot that they have to do with CGI here because of the powers. And I just fucking love seeing Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's a great actor. He's reveling in his role as, Doctor Strange. And he says he's one of those that's like, I'll fucking play this character till I die.
Let's not forget the other great Benedict.
I don't care.
Wong's great too.
Wong was amazing.
Yeah, Wong was fucking great in this film as the Sorcerer Supreme. Because in our multiverse, it's not Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. It is still Wong, the more responsible one. Anyways, and we get a little bit of Kamar Taj. We get lots of magical spells and really interesting choices with magical attacks. But it's better than just watching two beams hit each other. I thought at first I was like, this is ridiculous, but then I thought about it. It's like, okay.
Makes sense.
I don't want to just see beams all the fucking time. So they get creative with what I'm trying to say is some of the spells. And then there is a thing that I think will I can't say anything. But it's one of Joe's catchphrases that I appreciate very much. So anyways, I think there's a lot there that will satisfy you, and I really liked it. So let's go ahead and we'll go to final verdicts so that we can start talking what we're trying to avoid.
I did really enjoy the battles. I enjoyed the Sam Raimi parts.
Very long,
the acting
too.
was pretty good.
It's a long movie.
It is. Like, maybe they could have trimmed a little bit, but not too bad. It was still
I didn't
pretty
feel like they want. I was like, nah, this one doesn't need to be short. You know how sometimes we get out of the theaters and like that should have been 20 minutes shorter. This one, I don't feel like it should have been shorter. But do you?
good. No, it was like different universes, so I kind of want to see more of that. But that was pretty cool. I guess that's why they kind of extended it. But I'm probably gonna go with the 7 on this one. I did like it, but it wasn't one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's obviously Spider-Man: No Way Home still above.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But I do love the horror aspects they went with this one and the battles and just the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Visuals were fucking amazing and the score was pretty good. Danny Elfman.
Mm-hmm. Did Danny do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I like this movie. I don't know if it for me reaches as high as an 8, but I mean, some of the stuff
Sometimes.
really goes way above it, and then there's some like I think that there's kind of it feels like there's two movies here. There's the super safe formulaic Marvel movie, and it feels like the studio kept trying to like, no, you have to put this scene in, put this scene in, and then there's all these sprinklings of where you can't you see it and you haven't watched none of the rest of the movie, and you're like, this is a Sam Raimi movie.
Yes.
Like, you know it's him, you know the style, and I think those movies are fighting against each other here, where I really do want a full start to finish Sam Raimi movie. So I feel that those two things are kind of fighting each other here, and I think that's what's kind of holding the movie back. So I think I will give it a 7. It's just short of an 8 for me, but I still think it's a solid watch.
Yeah, I'm above these guys. I think it's a full-on 9 out of 10. I think that the slapstick Sam Raimi kind of fucking Evil Dead feeling.
Oh
He
yeah,
did Drag Me to Hell.
That's
That's that creative juice that the MCU needs, and it's injected in here. And the creativity extends to the fucking battles, the way they fight each other, the way characters are in, and they're not afraid to push the universe forward. You know, often in these kinds of things, you're like, oh, everything's back to normal or whatever, and we're back to, you know, this character. I mean, every single character has not moved. These characters have moved, and it's like, okay, interesting. Will this character be back in the future? Will this character not? Etc. They play with all their toys in the toy box in this film, and so it was a little longer, but I was enjoying it the whole time. I really think Benedict is a great actor. It's just really interesting and compelling every time he's on the screen. I love the Doctor Strange character. Never did I think that, you know, doing this is gonna make me come out of the theater, and I was doing this out of the theater. You know what I mean? I like the spell shit, you know, that we're doing, and the idea of going up against this particular villain, like we're spoiling, we're trying to stay away from spoilers. It's like it is a high level threat, and you literally need everything that you can find and get in order to even stand a chance. And ultimately, you can't stand a chance. You have to find a more creative solution to defeat this enemy, and they did, and I bought it. So, anyways, 9 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed this one. I think you should go out and see it. Go and support Sam Raimi films. Go out and support Doctor Strange. And they do have 2 after credits. One in mid credit. Actually, they got kind of 3. The way the film ends, you're like, wait, what? And then the credits roll. And then there's a mid credits. And that one is like, I don't know if I'm that excited for Doctor Strange 3. I'm like, really? Who is this now? Oh, that actress? I had to look her up in the comics, so we'll have to talk about that. And then the final one, it doesn't really have to do much with the MCU, but it's definitely worth staying for if you're into staying after credits. I highly recommend you stay. So we'll talk about that in spoilers too. So I loved it. Go check it out. All right, so that's it for this one, guys. If you want to stick around and get into the nitty-gritty with us, we're doing the spoiler section right now. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.